All right, in 2024, the Gauchos, true to their reputation, always battled through the entire season, pushing teams to the limit in their matches. And can you share your reflections on the 2024 team and what that competitive journey was like? And we'll start with you from the athlete perspective, Jess.
2024 season, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we did not win many games, but we definitely battled. It took a lot of teams to 5, like Long Beach and Hawaii. We battled with them. Couldn't get a win, but it was a lot of fun.
How about you, Rick?
Yeah, it was. We kind of knew going in. We had a pretty young squad. It was going to be a learning year, and we wanted to get as many guys to play as we could, just get that playing experience. And we got it. We really had a lot of different lineups, and a lot of guys got valuable experience. And like Jess said, we went 5 with a lot of teams. We just couldn't get over the hump in a lot of matches. But if history has taught us anything here, whenever we do that, we usually come back with a pretty good season the next year. Those 5-game matches are real valuable.
Great to be tried by fire there when you're going the distance. And it seemed like, Jess, you came out of the season hot out of the gates, and everyone realized they were throwing entire blocking lines in front of you, and even then they had a hard time stopping you. But what really made it a breakout offensive year for you in 2024?
I think a big portion of that was the speed that Walmer would set me. He likes to go fast back, and I like to get fast sets, which kind of throws the block off a little, helps me be able to go around them. They're going to be late, so I can go under them, and it's pretty easy to tool when they're on their way up. So I think that was a big key to my success with the big blocks on me.
Well, I know that this last summer you had the opportunity to compete with the USA Collegiate national team. How's that experience for you, and how do you feel it impacted your development?
It was a great experience. Honestly, it was really cool to get out there and play with a lot of the top players in the nation. The coaches were awesome. They taught me a lot of valuable things, like footwork on your approach and high ball hitting and what we're supposed to do in those scenarios. So I feel like that really helped me a lot and helped me develop.
Yeah. Well, Rick, I know the coaching fraternity likes to chatter behind the scenes or behind the athletes' backs, but what did you get to hear from the coaching staff of that collegiate national team about Jess?
Nothing surprised me. Jess is a good player, and they all saw what he can do and what his arm can do. He's got a pretty tough arm to read for blockers, and he gets on the ball quick. And they were impressed with how he did. And that's just such a good thing to have. I hope we keep having that possibility with USA Volleyball. I'm sure Karch will want to have that. It's a huge step in the growth between like 20 and 25 for the guys to get ready for international competition.
Yeah, for sure. Now back to you, Jess. In regards to that experience, what do you bring back to the Gaucho team in 2025 based on competing, training, and just hanging around other very talented players in the USA gym?
Could you repeat that?
What do you feel that you've gained, and what do you bring to the Gauchos in 2025 based on that experience, training, working out, and playing with other talented players in that USA gym?
I feel like I gained just the ability to, Rob, I'm not sure to answer that question.
You don't want to let all the secrets out of the bag.
I can answer it.
Sure, go for it, Rick.
Yeah, he's definitely more of a leader. I see a total different level of leadership out of him, and keeping our guys at a level more and being more vocal in practice. He knows the level that we have to get to win, the whole thing. And he's learned a lot from that training experience. So I've already seen it in the fall out of him.
Excellent. Well, let's stay in the summer theme. Then I definitely have some questions about the fall. But this summer was a great summer for Gaucho alumni. First, you had Evan Berkey breaking into the AVP. Then you had Ryan Wilcox doing the same, and on top of that, winning the Virginia Beach Open. and then Miles Evans representing the USA in the Olympics in beach volleyball. Now, Rick, I know you're a big historian. I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying that you know a lot about this stuff, but had to be an exciting time for UC Santa Barbara.
Absolutely. I follow all those guys, and I was first pumped that that Miles, got in. That's not easy, that process. And he grinded it out, and he got in there, and they did well. That was a real tough field that they had to compete against, and he battled, and I think they got into the final playoffs on a lucky loser draw. I can't remember. Yep. But it was good. I was real proud of Miles. And then Willie and Burke coming out of nowhere, and Willie winning that first AVP event that he was in, that kind of surprised everybody. But again, we know how good he is. So we knew that was going to come at some point. It just came a little earlier than I thought it was going to come.
Well, I mean, so Jess, obviously you follow these guys because they are Gaucho alumni, but got to be inspiring seeing the play of these guys and knowing they've come out of the program that you're currently in, right?
Yeah, of course. It's awesome to see it, especially Willie, since I played with him. He's a good friend of mine, so it's really cool to watch him get out there and make stuff happen in the pro beach volleyball.
Well, I believe that you actually overlapped with him on the indoor side of things at Santa Barbara. Is that correct? I may have my timeline off, but
yeah, we overlapped. We overlapped for 2 years, and we actually played in a lot of beach tournaments together during the summers too, which was a lot of fun. He's gotten a lot better since then.
He's like the Gaucho highlight reel, and you're ready to take the reins from him, right, Jess?
Yeah, I'm ready.
They're very similar. They both are really good on the beach, just all around volleyball guys. Probably grew up playing beach when they were really little.
Well, let's go towards the fall here. You've had a few, scrimmages, and like to get your sense of where the team is at and some good things you've seen here in the fall. Let's start from Rick's perspective, then we'll go over to Jess.
Yeah, we get 4 dates for fall scrimmages. We started with about 2 weeks of training in our fall block, and then we went off to the USC tournament. It's the first tournament. A lot of teams there. We played 2 different lineups. We split our team into 2 groups, and we probably came back from that a little bit down on how we performed. But again, it was our first tournament, and we knew that. And so the next couple weeks, we really grinded it out in the gym. And our next date was against Pepperdine here at Santa Barbara. Mm-hmm. And we scrimmaged them in the morning. We did well in the morning. Then we did a match after lunch, and it went the distance to 5. I think one of the sets we won 44 to 42 or something like that. Yeah. So it was a battle, and it was a good chance for both teams to get, potential starting lineups out there and learn some stuff. Pepperdine barely beat us, but we felt good about how we improved in those 2 weeks of training. And we had another 2 weeks of training, and we ended at UCLA, which we always do with the SAC tournament with UCLA, SC, Northridge, and this year the Masters joined in. Mm-hmm. And we started off the first night playing Northridge, who has a really good team. Their setter that's back, I think, is one of the best setters, in the country. Their opposite can hit balls at 12 feet and nobody can touch them. They got guys, and we played well, and we were able to beat them in 3 really close games the first night. So that was a big step for our team. The next day, we had to figure out how to play UCLA, SC, and the Masters all in about 4 hours worth of volleyball. And so we mixed some lineups, and we didn't, probably couldn't put our best team out there in any of the lineups, but our guys played well. We didn't get a couple wins. We got 1 win against the Masters, but it showed a lot of improvement. So everybody was pretty pumped off of that.
Yeah. By you, Jess, going into that fall scrimmage season, how are you feeling on the squads you got to compete in? Because it sounds like there are some mixed lineups.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling pretty confident about the squad we got back this season, especially after those couple of games we had. We have a lot of returners, which is awesome. More experience under our belt. So I think we're going to have a great year. It was We did struggle with our serving, passing a little bit. It's hard to get it down in those gyms. The lights are very dim. You have no room to go back and get your normal serving approach, so that was tough. Also, we got Berg. We moved him to the middle, and he's been killing it in there. He's been blocking really well, and he puts a lot of balls away, so that was good to see. Also, good to have 2 tall middles, because recently we've been going like big guy and got like a 6'2" guy in there.
Or 2 6'2" guys.
Yeah, or 2 6'2" guys.
So really athletic.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a great transition, because you return a good core portion of your starting lineup. That includes you, Jess, and Big West Law freshman team middle, Josh Arroyo. Can you share a little on each of the athletes? And if you want to share in third person, Jess, that's totally fine. We won't judge you. But there are a few other guys that are coming back as well. I'd love for you to touch on. So let's go to Rick, and then I'll head over to you, Jess.
Yeah, one guy that we didn't get to see much of last year, he might have played 3 matches, and then he had hip surgery and was out the whole year, and that's George Bruning. He's been working real hard at transitioning to the outside, and he really wants to be an Olympic outside, and he's doing great. So the hip has come back pretty strong. He's almost at 100%, I'd say. And he's been real valuable over the fall. Josh went home and did a USA thing and decided to lift hard, and he's way stronger now, and his arms gotten a lot faster. He's everything that a normal sophomore does, he's developed, and he's going to be a force. He's been very good. And our liberos, we got one back that we didn't have last year, Max Gordon, and he's competing with Joe Wallace, and they've raised our gym to another level. They're such good liberos. We're fortunate to have 2 really high level guys at that position. So add all that to Jess coming back, who was our best player by far last year, and I think we look good. We got a lot of work to do still, but middle of the season we should be a pretty good team.
Yeah. Well, you got to figure. I like how you hide the fact that George Bruning is 6'10", 6'11" as an outside hitter. Right?
Yeah.
That's not a secret, Rick.
I know.
Well, that's awesome that he's back, because I've seen him on the bench. I know he's disappointed he wasn't able to play, but he's going to give you some serious, additional firepower to Jess. So good stuff coming. Somehow you always seem to find some good local talent too, just right down the way in Santa Barbara, Dos Pueblos. Can you share a little bit about those guys?
Yeah, we really got a couple good local guys. Raglan Kier, he's grown now to almost 6'8". Yeah, he's got an unbelievable arm. I mean, a 1 in a million arm. He can pass. He's learning the game really quick. He's going to be a huge player for us. I don't know when it's going to click. It might click in the middle of this year, but he has incredible potential. We got a couple other really good freshmen. Riggs Guy, who we see similarities with him and Wilcox every day. They're really similar as freshmen, but I would say Riggs might be a little bit ahead of where Willie was as a freshman. So,
wow.
And getting back to the local talent, Mikey Davis, he's a really good read blocking middle. He's got to just develop a little bit, his body and get a little more explosive, like all freshmen have to go through. And he's going to be a great middle blocker for us.
That's great to hear, and you always have that gift of finding those little diamonds in the rough, Rick. And then your staff between Jonah and Blaine, and they did not pay me to say that. They do a good job with you too. So
they find them more than I find them.
I haven't had a chance to look at your 2025 schedule, but can you mention some of the teams that you'll be facing early on, and even during the spring break? Because we know that you see some other teams during the spring breaks, and we'll have Jeff chime in on what you've put together for the year.
Sure. Yeah, we start with our tournament, which we always do. It's been, I think this is the 55th year or something of the the ASICS Invitational. It used to be the Ebar. It's been a few different names, but we decided to bring in some new teams this year. From the Big West, we have UC Irvine, we have Northridge, we have us. The other teams we're bringing in are Menlo, Tusculum, and Missouri S&T. So a new look for that tournament, and we're excited to bring those new teams in. Then we get off to playing some pretty good competition. We go to Grand Canyon to play 2, and we also go to BYU to play 2. So we'll get a feel right away for where we're at, what level we are at, and what we need to do. Then we'll get Pepperdine twice. We get Lewis in between there, and we're going to get the Bruins twice. So it's our typical pretty tough schedule, but we hope to learn a lot through that schedule and be ready to compete at our best when Big West play starts.
Trial by fire, Rick. That's always been the style, and I'm sure that Jess and the athletes really appreciate those early battles on in the season, flexing their muscles.
Yeah.
Well, for the Ebar, you got to do your thing. Rick's picks, all the places to eat, and just throw it out to the teams so they can gain some weight before competing, and you guys have the heads up on them.
Ooh, I think I say the same thing every year. When I like something, I don't change. So South Coast Deli, for sure, one of the best places in Santa Barbara. Los Agaves, if you like Mexican food, one of the best. Jess, what do you got? Anything?
In-N-Out. We go In-N-Out.
In-N-Out, always good.
So,
always good.
on a kitchen.
Kuka's is a great breakfast burrito. If your guys need a breakfast burrito before they play in the tournament. Hopefully before they play us, they're eating that.
Of course. Well, Jess, you heard the opponents you've got coming up, and you're playing against the best. How do you feel like that the team will respond this year based on what you've seen so far in the fall?
I think we're going to respond and we're going to play really well against these teams. I think we're going to come out aggressive and come out fast. And we're really excited. I think we're going to do really well. It's going to be fun to play UCLA again. Last year we got a win off them, which was really cool. Fresh off the NCAA win. So that'll be fun to do. And then, Grand Canyon's always a great team to play. They're very skilled, so that's going to be fun too.
Some great matches, and but you're not going to have your Sam Collins moment, being he graduated.
Oh, no.
So got to give him a shout out. DJ Sam Collins serving the walk-off ace against UCLA last year.
That was awesome.
That was insane.
So you did say that that's one of the matches you're looking forward to, but there are any other matches, if you had to highlight one or two on your schedule, that you'd say, hey, fans, this is a must-see match? Who would those be? And we'll start with you, Rick.
Always Long Beach. They are one of the top programs every year. Those guys know how to train. They know how to get their team ready. They're always very good. They're for sure, one of the biggest matches. As is Irvine. Dave knows how to train his team well, and they have the best player in the country coming back. So see if we can do a better job of slowing him down a little bit and trying to pass those jump serves. And then Charlie, is always going to have a group of guys out there ready to go, and Milan's going to train them up. So the Big West is, there's no small matches there. San Diego, Northridge, they're going to be just as good. So I look forward to our league. Always, it's a battle, but if you get through it, you're going to be ready to win a championship.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? One word to describe Big West Conference play, and we'll start with you, Jess, and then finish with Rick.
Tough. I would say is my one word. You're all gas, no brakes. You're pretty much going at it. Every team's really good, so definitely gonna be tough.
How about you, Rick? One word describing Big West.
Unrelenting. Yep, it's from the first whistle, it is all out competitive volleyball, and if you aren't competing, you're going to get crushed.
There you go. All right, Geste Bianchi and Rick McLaughlin of UC Santa Barbara, appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you guys in person. In the brand, of course.